Well, I tried. I did in fact try to create a a balance patch video, but I got so many of those moves wrong, specifically for Havoc. I went on like a 20-minute information was called of how hype I was that I thought one of them was like for 4-4, you know, the one where he steps forward and steps on your legs. No, none of this was good. Most of these were bad, but I'll just give my thoughts on some of them. So other ones I'm not really sure what they'll do, so I'm just gonna kind of leave those to the side. A lot of it, like Gear says, I genuinely don't know what the fuck that does, so or what any of those moves are. So I'll try to leave those out. But once again, starting with Havoc. He's not very. These changes fucking suck. I'm okay. One of them is not bad, and that's the forward 1-3, which is the one that a lot of people you rarely see use, which is like the one where he goes forward and then does like a low attack. That one really wasn't very good because it gave you were minus. It was like even on hit it's -1, so it was never really usable. And his standing 4 is 1 frame faster. So I guess you can down 1 faster because I think most stand 4s are like +1, +2, +3, +4, somewhere in that range. And dislocated, which is his stand 3, is now excuse me. I'm sorry, I have the patch notes right here just so I don't just say something that's wrong. 13 frames of startup, so it's 2 frames faster, which I guess could be used as a better way to anti-air than hit like stand 1 or just straight up uppercut, but I don't know if you'd recover in time to actually, punish anything. Or maybe it'll be easier to pull off new combos in the corner because you're a little bit faster. But overall, these Havoc changes aren't going to change anything. Havoc is absolutely still bottom 3. Heck, with the way the Sub-Zero changes are and the Scorpion changes, you can make argument he's the worst character in the game now. But enough about Havoc and my sadness that he will never get buffed in any meaningful way. Johnny was nerfed, which is another one that I do think is going to hurt him, but not enough to push him out of the top 5. First and foremost, his parry, which I did not know. The enhanced parry was basically a DP. Like you could fire it and you wouldn't get hit. It started from 0 frames, which means you could have fired it in the middle of a chain and got through it. That's now at 4 frames to start up, meaning you have 4 frames to hit them before the actual parry itself comes out. And did the same thing for the regular parry, where instead of 6 frames to hit them, you have 8 now. But more importantly, the shadow kick, the one that you could just throw out at any point and pretty much profit, has been nerfed from 8 to 10 startup frames. So it'll take longer to come out, and it has 2 more frames of recovery on miss. So it's going to be a lot easier to punish if they do not use a cameo right away. Even then, I still feel like Shadow Kick is going to be basically unchanged more or less because you can just do it and not get punished for it. I skipped over Katana and Lee Mei simply because I just don't know what these moves are, and I don't know what their I guess implementation to Katana's and Lee Mei's game plans, if this changes or affects it in any way. However, Natara's is one of those more interesting things to me because even in the first one, I was like, wow, they really either do not know what to do with Natara or have a rework in mind, because there's no way that she keeps kind of gets picked over on these balance patches, because man, a lot of these are kind of, or this one specifically, kind of dog shit. I'm not dog shit. No, it's dog shit in the sense that it's good for Natara, but it's bad in the sense that this is the only thing she got. So her must feed attack, which is her 1-2-4 attack, cannot be 2-in-1 canceled, but it does 20 less damage. So you lose 2%, I believe. I think that's the math. You lose 2%, but it's able to be 2-in-1 cancel, which I believe means you can cancel from it and combo from it. I don't know if that's true. Don't take that with a grain of salt. But I still don't believe that's going to be enough to make Nitara better. I do believe that's going to be just good, but not what she needs to come out of the bottom 5. I think that's good enough. Once again, even ones that I'm not sure of. Reptile, a lot of his moves I'm not sure of, but the enhanced spit and spit ball now have 5 more blocks and frames. I don't believe that it's just like, oh, if you do a spitball, you're plus on block. I don't know if that's true, but I do believe if you do it up close, you're still full combo punishable. But far away, I do believe if you try to fire another spitball, yours will probably land before theirs, I think. And even in Sub-Zero's, though I don't know if this will fully fix him, one of his moves is now safe on, well, more or less safe on block. You can probably down 1 punish it if you're like Johnny, Lee May. Actually, Lee May can full combo punish it because of her, I forgot, the Rising Dragon, is that what it's called? I forgot what it was called, but you can punish it if you're quick enough. It says it's now -7 on block from -12. Whereas a lot of his moves now, well, one of his moves has better combo damage scaling, which means he's going to be doing a lot more damage. Instead of having damage, I imagine, instead of having damage that's closer to, you know, Havoc's in like the 27, 28 range, I'm guessing his would probably at least go to like bare minimum average with the rest of the cast, like 30, 31% at the very least. Scorpion, his forward 3, the one that he does the rising knee, and you could duck under it, or you could stop holding block and it would miss entirely. That is now a gapless string, meaning you cannot armor through it. You kind of just, I'm sure you could probably flawless block it. It's now a gapless string. Now, the one that I'm most excited about, and in my opinion, is Peacemaker's. His torpedo, EX torpedo, his the Eagly move, and the Eagly move, the force field, and the anti-grav have all been nerfed in various ways. Really, I'm not sure what else you could really nerf from him to make him worse, because honestly, with some of these, they're not really, well, with some of these, they should make him a lot worse on paper. The human torpedo now has 16 frames to start up from 12 and recovers 13 more frames on miss. They changed the human torpedo to a high a while ago, so if you duck under it, they'll just go clean over you and be hard to punish for a lot of people on the cast. And human torpedo, Eagly, and grounder offensive now have less pushback on block, which means they can't just fire this to get away from you and be safe on block. Now they have to do it on confirm, because if they do that in your face and they don't have cameo to, you know, make them safe, you're going to, you know, make their health bar explode. And that, beautiful. Coming up next, we have Sonya, who has one that I'm actually kind of excited about, because Sonya more or less got the, what's his name? Scorpion treatment as a cameo. Her leg grab is faster and is an overhead now that's plus on block, meaning you now have a mix up from the leg grab that now leads into a combo. And I was saying that, to me, a lot of the characters should be like this. Sonya, Darius, who else has one? To me, Striker's overhead and his, I believe all of those should ground bounce into a combo. So at least there's more reason to pull them off and really punish the opponent for guessing wrong. Even if there are +1 on block, and they can be +1, -1, you give up your turn or something like that. I think that's pretty fair. Speaking of Striker, his they fixed this, you know, a bug issue, but his command grab, the one where he, you know, puts you in handcuffs, now has 9 less recovery, what's cause I missed, but is plus on block, and he reaches slightly farther. But I do think that we might see more of that move being used, because admittedly the only thing you'd see from Striker was the grenade toss, but that's really it. I hope that they make the Striker, like Striker's entire kit, more usable. The overhead, the low, the command grab, pretty much all of it, instead of just, you know, the grenades. Cameo, Motaro also got one, but I don't believe it's anything too significant to his game plan. They've adjusted teleport location when the main fighter is not facing the opponent. I believe that this is to fix his like off of like back throws where characters aren't necessarily facing them. Maybe, I'm not sure. But that's one of the things that I'd have to wait and see. You'll likely really only see it from Shao Kahn and Liu Kang. Those are the only two that I think you're more likely to see it from, since those two really benefit from Motaro. And for Movado, they've increased his base health value to 250, which means you get 50 more health when you use Movado. So if you're someone like Havoc, where you're 1100 base before it took 100 from you, and so now you go from 1100 to 1150 instead of going from 1100 to just 1000, where you're pretty much in the baseline for the rest of the cast. And that was it for the ban list, or why do I keep calling it that? The balance patches. Of course, once again, Geras, Katana, Lee May, some of Reptile were the changes that I not neglected to mention. Well, I guess it is neglected to mention, but simply just because I don't know what they do towards their game plan. Of course, you are welcome to read these yourself and make your own opinions on what these mean for your character or Mortal Kombat 1 as a whole. But overall, in my opinion, once again, like I said, the last balance patch, a step in the right direction, but we've been saying that for 6-7 months. We need a leap in the right direction at this point, but I don't believe these will really fix. These don't fix a lot of the characters. These fix, or not fix, these nerf 2 characters and kinda sorta make other characters semi better, like sorta better. Nothing that would make them go up or down the tier list in some radical fashion, just something that makes them go, oh, you know, they're kinda good, but you know, eh. I'm disappointed that Natara hasn't received any buffs, or any, let me rephrase it. I'm disappointed that Natara hasn't received any meaningful buffs. In the same way, I'm disappointed that Havoc has received no generally good buffs at all. I believe that the dislocated one, the standing 3 one, will probably be more interesting, and I'd like to see what the forward 1-3 brings, but you know what I mean? The moves just aren't moving, you know what I mean? They're not that good, at least in Havoc's case. Johnny Cage is good. But once again, it's one of those things where I'm not sure how you can nerf Johnny without making him literally unusable. It would literally be like, what, make his forward 3 or like his mid 13 frames? I think that would be like the ultimate way to kill him, I guess. And Peacemaker, really his problem is probably really just his special moves. The fact that he's safe and his force field is able to be basically spammed out and you can run away and be invulnerable for, you know, what, 4 seconds, 5 seconds? I forgot what the timer is specifically, but I think, once again, they were nerfed simply because I believe it's Final Combat just ended. So they were always going to wait until after this tournament before they made any radical changes. But if I were on a 1 to 10 scale, I do believe this is like a 6 out of 10. This is like a fine enough balance patch, but once again, it's nothing that would drive people to come back. You know what I'm saying? Hearing Johnny and Peacemaker were nerfed, sure, that's great, but that's not enough to make me want to play the game. I would like to play other people, but every character has just kind of been the same since September. But yeah, I don't know. This is a fine balance patch. It's not terrible. It's not the greatest. It's not like game warping, but it's fine. But let me know what you guys think of the balance patch. Do you guys think it was good? Do you guys think it was bad? Let me know in the comment section below. I've been your boy Mentos. Peace.